Hey you guys, so this is my very first Q&A video. I don't have that many questions. I'm going to try to get through them as quickly as I can, but I wanted to have a little something to go with the talking. And I have to admit, I just tried to film a video of me eating Mexican food. I had a steak tostada and a steak ground beef. Ground beef tostada and a steak tostada with some fries, and it was good. But I wasn't pleased with the video, so what you see here was part of that video too, and I am going to apologize beforehand to Miriam Hernandez, who wanted me to have a Mexican candy challenge. I'm not sure if this is what she meant, but I went and picked up a couple of things. One of which I liked. This one I liked. It's kind of a coconut thing, coconut macaroon type thing. It's a little burnt at the bottom, but I like that. And this one I did not like. It's too damn sweet. Some type of a, I don't know, fudgy thing. It's way too sweet for me. See, I tried it. And I know I've just cheated you out of watching me try it, but at any rate, I gotta move on. I'll probably do another one for you. But at least I didn't forget about you. I didn't forget. Okay. Let's go on. Let's go to this first question. It's actually going to be on this side. 20 Torres 20 asked, how did you find the ASMR community and realize what ASMR was? That's the first question. The second question is, what classic music artist would you recommend? I basically found the ASMR community on YouTube. I was trying to look for, I used to listen to talk radio shows, morning shows. A lot of people will always say, oh my God, I just want them to play the music. I hate all the talking. I loved the talking. I loved microphone movement, the sounds of the studio. I loved all that. It relaxed me. So I was trying to find some of those. Didn't find that many on YouTube. And I came across someone chewing gum. It was only audio, no visual. And I would listen to that. That would be my go-to for a spell. And then I just kind of made a point of searching further and further into those kinds of things and discovered people eating different things. And then I guess I must have came across these four letters and decided to go to Wikipedia and read up about it. And then I was like, oh shit, that's me. So that's really how I discovered what ASMR was. Classic music artists I would recommend. If you're meaning classic, like old school music artists, I always keep it fairly old school. So for funk, I would recommend Parliament Funkadelic. Anything by George Clinton in the 70s. In the 70s, only the 70s. For rock, I would probably do The Doors, Led Zeppelin. Steely Dan, who is my favorite, one of my favorite groups ever. I don't know that I'll ever want to see them live because they're so dynamic on record, on vinyl, whatever. Susie and the Banshees are my favorite band of all time. They're a punk band. You can actually, I guess, call them pop, but their roots are in punk. A lot of people credit them with being at the birth of the goth movement. They never ever identified as goth, but I mean, we fans love them nonetheless. And just in case you don't believe me, this is a magazine from last month that I still keep handy. That's Susie there. She is my favorite. Okay. And of course, Salt and Pepper. There's a lot of different people I love. Anyway, hopefully that answers your question. If you meant classical music, I don't really do classical music unless it's Igor Stravinsky's The Rite of Spring, which I found out about through Susie and the Banshees, who used that piece to open up their Nocturne tour in 1983. Okay, IDK ASMR, I don't know. I guess that's what that means. ASMR, favorite songs. Okay, IDK, here's what's going to happen. I think what I want to do is, in this video, I think I want to put links up to some of my favorite songs. Not that many, but like, I'll keep it 80s. You didn't really specify, and I don't really have any favorite songs that were released today. I really don't like a lot of music of current, music, unless it's by like someone like Disclosure. I love those guys. Beyonce, I love the new Janet single. But yeah, other than that, today's what passes for popular in today's music pretty much sucks to me. Born Earth. When did you first have the ASMR feelings? And that was the first question. And they asked, when did you first learn that these tingles were called ASMR? I think the first time I had the feelings, I want to eat. The first time I had the feelings was probably as a kid, when my mom would send us to the barbershop. And I think some kids protested the barbershop. Well, I never did, because I loved the sound of the scissors against my hair, near my ear. I didn't realize at the time how much of an art being a barber was, and still is. And so, the sound of the clippers lining and being in that chair and going up and down the chair, that was fun. That was great. So that was when I first had the feelings and didn't know what they were. And I guess I learned what they were maybe a couple years ago when I looked it up on Wikipedia. And I just sat there kind of like, wow, man, this is me. Like, I thought I was alone in this. Because I got to tell you, I went through, when I was a teenager, in my mid to late teens, it was always music related with me. And I used to love listening to certain talk shows. Like, I'm going to really date myself here, but I don't care. Dr. Ruth, I used to listen to her show where she would talk about sex all the time. And there was this woman on WLS AM radio. Her name was Phyllis Levy. I used to listen to her, Steve Dahl and Gary Meyer. WGCI's Doug Banks. I used to listen to his morning show a lot. And sometimes I would record them and then listen to them back. And all because, I didn't know at the time, but I kept searching for this feeling, for this experience that I was having every time I'd hear these shows. There was one show that came on a national public radio station late one night, and I recorded it. Basically, it was the scenario was a woman, a foreign woman. Her name was Chantal, and she was she was a masseuse, I guess. And this guy, had wine or champagne or something set up for them. And you'd hear the sounds of the champagne being poured into the glass, and just him trying to seduce her, talking to her. And then they brought out like a bag of chips. And I swear to this day, that I really think that was something ASMR related. Looking back on it now, I mean, at the time, I had to be in my maybe late 20s. No, strike it. Late teens, sorry. I'm thinking about the time. I recorded that thing, and if I could find that tape, I'd love to listen to that again. That was a go-to for a long time. I gotta get through these questions, you guys, because... So that was it, Born Earth, okay? Hope I answered it correctly. The Magic Jingle Tingle Fairy. My friend, he asks, what is YouTube to you? I have looked at that question, and I really have tried to understand exactly what you meant. Now, YouTube as an entity really means nothing to me. Now, if you're talking about the ASMR community on YouTube, um, I, it's it's great. I like that there is this platform to be able to, you know, record these events and share them with others and listen to other people's, recordings and get feedback. It's nice to know that I'm not alone. I was ready to rock it alone, but it's good to know that there's a whole community out there. And what's cool about it is that it still feels like this universally best kept secret. Because the average Joe Schmo, you go out there and you ask somebody about ASMR, they don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's like deer in headlights. So I do kind of like that about it, but I'm just waiting for the day that I wear this shirt outside of this building and someone kind of strikes up a conversation with me about it. I'm waiting for that day. Okay, so Jingle Tingle, if you meant something else by that question, can you expound on it in a comment for me, please, sir? What are the first videos? This is his second question. What are your first videos you remember watching on here? Like I said, I think it was the gum chewing video. I don't think I mentioned that. There was a 20-minute gum chewing video I found while I was looking for other things, and that was my go-to for a while. Then there were a couple of this one guy. I guess he was doing massages, and I think I sensed subscribed to him. I think it may be Massage ASMR. I would look at some of his videos too. Why and how did you decide to start making them yourself? Now, that came from a different person. I decided to start making them myself looking at Ignited ASMR. Looking at his videos, listening to his videos every night, commenting on them non-stop. I would just look at his, just because he has so many. And I loved almost each and every one of them. I said, I wonder if I could do something like this. It seems like it's easy, and it seems like there's a community just kind of that's waiting for me to be a part of, or I don't know, that's not sounding right. I'm not trying to make that sound like all they waiting for me. That's not what I mean. But I was like, wow, there are actually people who do this for people who have these triggers, and I didn't know what all of this stuff meant. And I was like, damn, I would like to do that. I'd like to join this community. And it was through watching his that I discovered the people I've discovered so far. And I know there's a whole lot of others, videographers or artists, whatever you want to call yourselves, that I haven't discovered yet. His last question is, what are some new dreams or goals you've set? Well, I never graduated high school. I waited 2 weeks prior to graduation to drop out because I knew I really fucked up my senior year. I just didn't give a damn about anything because I'd had a job, and I figured in my young, 17-year-old mind, I thought, well, the point of going to high school was to land a job. Now that I've landed a job, I don't really need school anymore. Dumbass. So I dropped out. So I want to get my GED. And I want to do that so that I can consider taking music production classes at a community college. Whatever I do college-wise, course-wise, it has to be affordable. I don't want to be stuck with any loans. So that's a goal. Also, to finally get into a gym. That's a goal of mine. Just because, for health reasons. I have sleep apnea, just so that you guys can know a little something personal about me. I have sleep apnea. Had it for quite some time. But I know that losing the weight would probably alleviate that. So I'm thankful for my job because I'm able to move around and go up and down stairs, and I'm on my feet every day. And now that those hours have increased from 15 to 30. That's been wonderful. So it's helping out a lot. I'm trying to eat right, even though you guys don't really see it or haven't really seen it in my videos. What you don't see is me eating oatmeal and bananas in the morning, maybe having a cup of coffee or some tea, trying to drink water when and where I can. But like I said, there are times when you're going to see me, drinking Diet Mountain Dew and having, stuff like this. I'm not trying to deprive myself. I'm just trying to keep it in moderation. And I know I'll make it. It'll just take time and dedication on my part. So, Tambor76 asks, who's your favorite Van Halen frontman, David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar? And I absolutely love this question. I will start by saying I'm not a fan of, I'm not a big fan of Van Halen. I only have heard a handful of songs that I like. But one thing I will tell you, not to take anything away from Sammy Hagar, but that fucking David Lee Roth, you can't beat him. I'm sorry. The man is the penultimate example of rock showman. He is. I'm sorry. That even though he may be somewhat of a shell of his former self, but that hair, that iconic hair, and that voice, and that swagger, that attitude, I mean, that's what rock and roll is. When you think rock and roll, that's kind of what you think about. You have to have some type of swagger. If you don't, it just doesn't, it doesn't translate well. That kind of rock. That kind of, I was going to say white boy rock, but that's probably wrong, not politically correct to say. But you have to have that swagger. Like Queen, Freddie Mercury had it. It was in it was in a different way. I don't think he was, talking about, as many girls or chicks as he could get back in the heyday in the 70s or whatever, but he had that swagger. You see it in the outfits, the glamour, the voice, just parading, working the stage, man. And David has all of it in spades. Eating to relax. The question is again, what's your goal in life? I just answered that question. There are no major. Those are the major life goals. Nothing else more than, losing weight and getting into a gym. They're small goals, but losing the weight would be a big goal. I don't have a set weight I want to lose. I just want to lose the shit and lose it right and lose it slowly. I was one of those guys that on Facebook they had these little games where you would create songs or create beats, or take the beats that people uploaded and then create tracks out of them, like Beat Lab and Breakout Band, and there were some other ones I used to play. Fantasy DJ. I used to do all of those. That was what I enjoyed. If I could do something like that, in real life and get paid, that would be the goal. I just have a couple of a question and just a couple of weird thoughts. I have wondered, do male ASMR artists get weirded out when other males comment or compliment them on their videos? Dude, great sounds. Because I mean, I do it, and I don't really think I don't think twice about it. I just figured they would like to, hear how their, work came out to others. But I wonder, it seems like what I've noticed is that guys tend to respond a little more if a female comments on a video than if another guy comments on their video. And I just wondered if there's an uncomfortability with that, particularly with, someone who's straight, who makes these videos. My thoughts on the ASMR community, I just had something that I just observed, and it's really obvious, I think, to everybody. Just the diversity of the community is something that I really appreciate. You got straight, gay, it's racially diverse, men and women, young and older people. It's one of the few environments of its kind, I think, and I appreciate that. I appreciate being a part of that. The other little funky thing that I just that kind of turned up in my head was, wondering what it would be like to have an ASMR boyfriend, a boyfriend who's into ASMR. I just feel like that would be so hot. Like, you come home after a hard day's work and, your feet are tired, just massaging your feet. You don't even have to take your socks off, because I like it like that. And that's probably too much information for all of you, but I don't care. And just, it's like, hey, babe, won't you hit that gum? Chew a little bit of my ear, get things going, get the nipples erect. And I don't believe I just said that. I just think that would be so perfect. You wouldn't even have to have actual sex. Like, that could be the foreplay. Just to relax, or maybe you wouldn't do anything, you just go fall right the fuck to sleep. But it would be really cool to find someone special who was also into ASMR. That's all I'm gonna say. I should make the guy that I'm talking to in Canada, I should make him get into it. I hope he never sees this video. That's going to be really funny for him. At any rate, guys, thank you for your questions. I'm doing my eyes like that because I feel like I'm really tired. But thank you for the questions. I hope I answered them, properly. I'll try to remember to get those links up to the favorite songs, IDK ASMR. I know I've got some new subscribers, and I haven't watched any videos of any of the people I'm subscribed to, but I'm going to get to them, I promise. What else? I don't think I have anything else. I think I'm going to let it go. It's 22 minutes. I hope this uploads, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.